This is the morning swim show for Thursday, May 19th, 2011. I'm your host, Peter Bush, and the Phoenix Monitor today. We'll talk to Susan Teeter. She's the longtime women's swim coach at Princeton University. This weekend at the annual convention for the College Swim Coaches of America, she will be honored with the Speedo Lifetime Achievement Award. Susan Teeter joins us right now in the Phoenix Monitor from Princeton, New Jersey. Coach, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks very much.
Congratulations on the award. Much deserved.
Thank you very much. I'm quite humbled.
I love the first sentence of your bio on Princeton's website. She enters the season as the ultra successful. I mean, it's pretty accurate, I guess.
Well, you know, he likes me a lot, so he writes very well about me. So he might be my biggest fan, though.
Well, you just finished a perfect season after all and won another Ivy League championship. Do you actually go into a season going, okay, we're not going to lose one single meet here, or do you quote unquote take it meet by meet?
You know, I think I try to look down the road to the end of the season and try to figure out where do we need to be to get the most people to NC2As. And, you know, I figure if we can do that, then we're going to take care of the dual meets and take care of the conference at that level. And so that's our ultimate goal. And you know, I mean, the Ivy League is, I think, a very exciting place because the camaraderie amongst the teams as well as the rivalries amongst the teams, and so it's always something that you want to at least look at and say, how do I make this successful for Princeton overall, and how do I make it successful for us nationwide? So
are you saying your main goal is NCAAs and not necessarily the conference?
Well, it has to be NC2As because, I mean, I think it'd be like saying I want to win an Olympic medal, but I think I'll try to do it at U.S. Nationals. I want us always shooting for the highest level that we can be at in college swimming, and if we are doing that, we are going to win the Ivy League. We're going to win the dual meets, and I think that helps us all the way through.
I had gotten the impression from some teams in the Ivy League that, you know, we're not going to do a ton of damage at NC2A, so let's put all our eggs in the conference basket. That's where we're going to make our mark for the season. But you see it a little bit differently.
Well, not so much that it's different. I think that, I think you just want to go into a conference meet saying how many people can we qualify. I think in this day and age, with NC2As being as fast as it is, I mean, you can't go to your conference meet and take anything lightly. You've got to be ready to swim fast, and I think that instead of looking at just times, what we're trying to do is say, you know, how many kids can we get to NC2As, and that's going to result in wins at the conference level, and that's going to get more people swimming fast, trying to achieve things, and when you have that, you're going to win the conference meet.
Will an Ivy League school ever be top 5 at NCAAs, or is it just impossible with the scholarship structure?
You know, I think at this point, I hate to be pessimistic. I think it would be impossible to do top 5. I think top 10 might be a huge stretch, and I think it might be doable. I think the hard part is in the Ivy League without the scholarships is when you look at a relay situation, you might have 3 studs and you might be missing that 4th stud, where a scholarship might allow you to get that 4th stud. And, you know, and as fast as NC2As are now, if you don't have relays at the NC2As, you're not going to be in the top 10.
Well, as a reflection of how highly you are thought of there at Princeton, I know they have something called the Susan Teeter Award given to a senior every year. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Who won it this year?
This year it's Megan Waters. It's our NC2A qualifier, so really, really proud of her.
Tell us a little bit more about Megan.
Megan came into Princeton as sort of a junior national level sprinter, and a very serious young woman, and came in and said, hey, you know, I want to be good, I want to get better. And we put her in the water and we looked at a couple things and we said, you know, Megan, here's a drill you can do to make your start better, and here's another drill you can do to make your turns better. And we asked her to do that a minimum of twice a week on her own so that she could make herself better. Well, Megan did that the first day that she got to work out, which was the day after we had that meeting, and did it every day she was at Princeton. And as a result, I think Megan Waters is probably one of the best starters and turners in the nation. And I think the kids were able to look at Megan and say, wow, you know, if she can build herself into a championship swimmer by doing this little thing right every day, then that's a real example. So she was a real role model for all of us.
Practice makes perfect, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
I know you have made it your mission to tutor, if you will, other female coaches through something called the Summit. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, the Summit has been a great group, and the folks that have been in it have sort of changed over the years. We've been together for 15 years now. We started out in Michigan at Stu Isaac's wife, Maureen Isaac, Mojo, was then at Michigan's Eastern Michigan. And we decided, well, let's see if we can put this thing together. And we invited numerous, probably about 15, 20 people to come to Michigan and sit around for the weekend and try to put some things together for women's swimming in college. And 5 people showed up, including Mojo and I. So that was 3 other people. And one of those people was Gene Freeman, the late Gene Freeman from Minnesota. And I think Gene gave us a lot of legitimacy. And the next year we had about 7 to 10 people. And the next year we had about 12 people. And throughout the years, we've had some people in, some people leave, some people get out of coaching, some people move on to other jobs. And right now we're sitting at 13 women. And I think there's still a handful of us that aren't in coaching anymore, like Jill Sturkle's with us, and she's not in coaching anymore. Mojo Isaac has moved down from college swimming to Skyline High School in Ann Arbor, so she's coaching young women in high school. And so we're just a group of women who are trying to look at the sport and say, not only how do we coach better as women, how do we keep women in coaching, and how do we mentor young women so that they will stay in coaching. And I think that we've had some good, powerful impact on the sport. And it's not even just mentoring young women. I think that, take my assistant from last year, Phil Spinello, who just got the Rutgers job. I think that our summit was instrumental in helping Phil get that job. And I think it was important to have women supporting him as a male in getting a job coaching women. And so we realize how we can affect the sport in a positive way. And so we're just looking for every opportunity we can to say, what can we do to keep swimming alive, keep it growing, and keep it good?
Well, female coaches probably got a symbolic boost, if nothing else, with Teri McKeever being named the first female U.S. Olympic head swim coach.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you surprised that it took so long, or did you think, oh, I mean, that happened right on schedule? How did you see that?
You know, it's a great question, and I think even Teri's been asked that numerous times. And I think when you look at college swimming, only 19% of college swimming is women, and so, or actually U.S. swimming. So when you look at that and you say, wow, only 19% of our sport is female.
Coaches, you mean?
Your numbers aren't always going to fall into the place where you say, well, why hasn't a woman been there yet? I mean, I think we'd all like to ask why a woman hasn't been there. And the main thing is how can we make an impact now that a woman is there? And I think that Teri McKeever is a great choice. I think she's a well-deserved coach. I couldn't be more happy for her. She certainly has earned this title. And I think she's going to do an outstanding job for the U.S., and we're all really happy for her.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time, and congratulations again on this great award you're going to get this weekend.
Well, thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate your time.
All right, that's Coach Susan Teeter joining us from Princeton, and that is it for today's show. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.